Hey folks, it's Dave back in Studio C playing some more Solitaire Pro Football. And in this video, I want to run through a couple of scenarios here. I want to do the opening kickoff, and then we're going to do a run, a short pass, and a long pass. So we're playing the game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the San Diego Chargers. And again, if you want to use these automatic play calling charts, all you do is you come over here and you look at the Cincinnati offensive number of 24. You subtract or add the number in here. So in this case, it's 24 minus 2 to give us a 22. Over here in the instructions, 22 says we're going to use play calling card number 10. And that's what I had out here is play calling card number 10. Now how that works is when you flip a fast action card, again, you choose the number. You choose which column you want to use. Okay, there's 5 columns here. You can call it out before you flip, or maybe use first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, overtime, whatever you want to do. But let's just say we're using the top number here. On a 1st and 10, a 1 to 22, that falls 1 to 22, so that is a run. If I flipped a 44 on 1st and 10, I'd be going short pass. And on 1st and 10, 47 to 50 on this card here would be a long pass. And again, you have it all set up for 2nd down, 3rd down, and 4th down, what the play call would be. So let's run through a kickoff and a couple of plays here in this video. So we're going to kick off. So here's the kickoff card right here. You go to kickoff, it says end zone -1. So that's 1 yard deep in the end zone. If you flip this card here, the kick goes to the 3-yard line. Okay, this card here, end zone -9, so it's 9 yards deep in the end zone. And then one last one here, this kickoff would go to the 5-yard line. So that's how you would determine how far the kick goes. So let's just say we kicked it to the goal line just to keep things simple. Now we're going to see who's going to return this. So we would flip a card here. Let's just say we got a 17. Under kick return, under the ratings, 1 to 30. And that falls in 1 to 30. So David Verser would get the kick return here. If I was using column 3 with a 39, 39 to 44 is Archie Griffin. So Archie Griffin would return the kick. But in this case, we rolled a 17, or we flipped a 17, and David Verser is going to return that kick. Now let's see how long the return is going to be. So we use this for kickoff and punts. It says average. So his average is 22. So he fields it at the goal line, returns it 22 yards to the 22-yard line. There's no penalty or fumble. And it's 1st and 10 Cincinnati at the 22. Let's just say he flipped this card on the return. So it's an average -2. So that would be 22 minus 2 is 20. And that's kind of how this game basically works. So you have your average for each player for runs, passes, and returns, and then it just works off the average plus or minus. So it's really simple math. It's very quick. So in this case, it'd be 22 minus 2, so it's a 20-yard return from the goal line. So Cincinnati has the ball first down. Now again, if I wanted to use this card here, I could flip a card here, and again, a 34 would be a short pass if I wanted the game to call the play. And again, if this is purely optional. But in my case, I'm going to call the play. I'm going to call a run. Alrighty. Now, some of the seasons have the user rating, the player rating already built in, so you could roll or flip a card here, I should say, and it would tell you who carried the ball. In this case, it does not. So what you need to do is kind of be on the honor system, where Pete Johnson can run 14 times. If he's going to carry a 15th time, then these guys have to run 5, 2, 2, and 1 respectively before he can run his 15th play, if that makes any sense. So this is kind of the usage built into the game, kind of on the honor system that they suggest to use. So we are going to run with Pete Johnson. He's got an average of 3. So we're going to flip a card, and this is the defense, D. Again, up in the corner here is where all the defense is. You have A through F. And so you get 5 different defensive looks in the game, which is kind of neat. It's not always stagnant. So you get a D on the defense. So on a run, we're going to check the San Diego defensive run here on a D. And that's 0, so there's no adjustment. So it's kind of just a neutral defense there. So no adjustments on the D. So Pete Johnson, his average run rating is a 3. So it's a 3 with no adjustment by the defense, so it's a 3. So we're going to flip this card here and check run. and it says the average number minus 4. So if he's a 3 minus 4, he's knocked backwards for a 1 yard loss. And that's how simple a run can be. On this one here, if you drew this card, okay, we determined that it's a 3 plus 2 is a 5 yard run. So you factor in the average of the two is what it is. So you start with the runner's average, you factor in any adjustment by the defense, and it's going to go down usually, or it could stay the same. That's your final number that you would add or subtract from the number here. So again, so Pete Johnson was a 3. There's no adjustment for defense. Plus 2 is a 5, so it's a 5 yard run. And that's kind of how simple it goes. So now let's try a short pass. So a short pass. So Ken Anderson, you look under S here for short pass, he's an 11. If he tries to pass to Pete Johnson, let's say, he's a 3. So we have 11 and 3 is 14. So now let's flip a card here. So we're going to flip defense F. Defense F for San Diego. Defense F on a normal pass. Again, we get inside the 15-yard line. We're not, because that's basically a goal line defense. So an F is minus 2. So just double check the math here. We get 11 and 3 is 14 minus 2 is a 12. Now on a pass, what you do is you look at the bottom of the card. And the number is going to be 1 through 17. It can never be lower than 1 or higher than 17. If it is, use 1 and 17. So again, in our scenario there, we had 14, and I think I said minus 2, and that gives us 12. So under 12, it is complete. So the short pass to Pete Johnson is complete. And then what we do on a short pass is we flip another card. And we check the pass gain number here. And now, ooh, that's an average minus 10. So he's only got a 6 average. So he caught that 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage and he was tackled. So that's actually a 4-yard loss on that pass. Wow. Now let's check something different here. So if we flip this card here on the short pass, again, pass gain, that says average. So Pete Johnson's average is 6. So that would be a 6-yard gain. And let's see if we flip another one here. So if we flip this one here, an average of 6 minus 6, well, that would be no gain. So that's kind of how a short pass works here. It's very similar to the run, and you can lose yardage on a play. So now let's go long pass. So, Anderson, come over here to L. That's long pass. So he's a 6. We're going to Chris Collinsworth is a 4 on the long pass. So we have a 4 and a 6, so we have a 10. Let's flip the defense. It's a B. B defense for the Chargers. So we have a 10 going up a B defense, and that's a minus 3. So we're going to look in row 7 or column 7. We flip the card. Column 7 is complete. If I had flipped this card, it's nothing in column 7, so that is incomplete. PE is a penalty, IX is interception, and PR is pass rush, and I'll do that in a separate video just to give you an idea what it is. So again, if this card here, it was complete. So let's go with complete, because incomplete is just incomplete, and it's nice and simple. So it's a complete pass, a long complete pass to Chris Collinsworth. So what we need to do now is to check to see if it's his longest gain. And how you do that is you come over to the breakaway section. He's got a 1 to 49 breakaway and then a little 5 over here in parentheses. And the 5 is what we're checking. So we need to check to see if it's his longest gain. And his longest gain is 74 yards. So we look under 5 on the breakaway chart, the breakaway rating of 5. And if I were to flip, I believe that's a 1 to 6. Okay, if I flip a card and it's 1 to 6, it would be his longest gain. Now this is not. Okay, now again, his longest gain only comes up rarely. But let's just say I were to flip this card and I was picking out a column 3. I would say column 3, oh look, that's a breakaway. That's his longest gain. So I would just immediately go to his longest gain of 74 yards on the play. But in our example, he did not get the longest gain. So we just go to the long pass. So what we do now is we'll flip a card because it wasn't his longest gain, and it's his average plus 12. So Collinsworth average is 14 plus 12 is 26 yards on the catch. So again, long gain, the difference between a short gain and a long gain is you do check the breakaway chart to see if he gets his longest gain. And in this case, he did not. Again, it's not often that happens. I have had it happen, but it's rare. So again, long pass, it's the long pass number plus the receiver rating minus the defense, whatever your defensive letter is. That gives you a number between 1 and 17 usually, and you just go to that column to tell you what it is. And that's how a pass works. And that's really how simple some of the mechanics of this game work. Later on, I'll go into some penalty videos and fumble videos, but that should get you started. It's real simple, it's real quick, it's easy math, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm Dave, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.